Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this little series of sort of how to colour different items. This is from Menuet de Bonheur by Kanoko Egusa, maybe? I can't quite remember. Now, I thought we would have a go at one of the birds today. We're using Castle Art Soft Touch pencils. And I'm going to do all the birds the same. Now we've got the three here and we've got one here. These are all the same bird. We've got one down here. This will be done differently. But these three out of the four, I think I'll do the same. So I'm just going to show you one. And then the others I'll do the same, like I have done with the other elements on the page. We can come in quite a bit closer actually. Right, and I'm going to start with their feet and their beak. I think these are the easiest parts, for me at least. I'm going to use the Cool Grey Deep. It's the darkest grey that we have, I think. Yeah. Here it is, Cool Grey Deep. And just sharpen it. Now, it's can often be tempting to do birds' legs in and feet in a pinkish colour, which sometimes they are, or in a yellow, but I find that if you do them in grey, it looks a bit more realistic, I think. Though my budgie, I used to have Pet Budgie, his feet were going darker on the right hand side, and do the same on this one where I think there'd be a bit of shadow, and then just sort of easing the colour across. My budgie used to have blue legs, I'm sure. I'm doing the little claws in the same colour. I just feel that it'd be, I don't want it to be distracting. I think if I did them blue or did the claws a different colour, I just think it'd be a bit odd. So it's quite a small area. There we go. I'm going to actually grab my black and just put that shadow in a little darker because it's not really showing up enough for my liking. So just on this very edge, like there we go. Yeah, that's cool. Now the beak, this beak is sort of facing us, this one's to the side. I don't think it makes a big difference. I'm just going to go in under here, quite dark. And I'm going to get my black again and just put a bit of extra under there if I can. There we go, just keeping it quite simple. Now for the body of our bird, I want to go, I was thinking sort of brown like a sparrow type thing. I was thinking might be nice, but I thought I could vary the colour a little bit, so maybe have darker wings, a lighter belly, lighter face, something like that. I thought I might do a grey face rather than brown. I'm going to start with the warm grey light therefore, and I'm going to, now because we want it to look feathery, I want to do some strokes on the face, so I'm going to get this pencil sharper. That's always helpful. There we go. And then take upwards from the beak. If you think about, it's quite, I sort of, they would come out, I think, sort of like that, up, like that. It's quite pale, but I'm going to do another layer. So just up to this line, like that. I quite like the way the eye is drawn, so I'm not going to worry about messing with that. But what I am going to do is put another little layer of colour on top of there, just so we can pick out maybe some of the actual strokes. That's not the colour I want. There's the colour I want. I'm looking for the charcoal grey. It's quite dark, but I'm going to do some minuscule strokes. Remember, this is, sorry for the blur there, this is a very small bird, so his feathering is going to be quite small, so I'm just going to do some little teeny tiny strokes like this, and hopefully he'll look a little like he's He's got some little feathers, soft feathers on his face. So that is the face, the two greys. Now onto the body, I'm going to use brown. But let me just show you this one. So this look comes up here. So I would do the face to all the way across to about there. Okay. And on this bird, he's got this sort of cheek. I'm going to ignore that when I colour him. I might even white it over a bit because I don't like that. I don't know why. It's just not. It's not the look I was going for. Right, raw umber next to do the tummy. I'm going to sharpen it again. Need sharp, I think. Nice and sharp. There we go. I think that lead's a bit wobbly. We'll go with it. So the back of the head as well. So start here. Start with your feathering there. Then down on the tummy. Thinking this way. Now it doesn't matter if your feathers might look like they're in the wrong direction or something. I think birds are sometimes ruffled. I bet they are today. It's absolutely pouring with rain. You can imagine how ruffled they might be, poor little birds. Now I would have been tempted to have done a base colour here before putting the feathers down, but because I have been playing with these pencils and this paper for a few videos now, and I realised that the paper does not take a lot of layers of colour in this particular brand of pencil, then I'm going straight on with my feathering. But if I was using the Prismacolor like I did on my other page, and I knew it could layer up a bit more, I would have just put this on a base colour. But let's keep going a little bit more. And you can see it just looks fluffy. It's quite straightforward, which is nice, you know. I'm going to use a little bit of a darker colour. I'm going to use the sepia. Now the sepia is a slightly more reddish brown, but I think it's going to work here because I want to save my dark browns for this bit. There we go. So I'm just going to go over the top of what I've done already. I mean, ideally I'd like to fill the white gaps, but my eyesight isn't that good, so I'm just doing the best that I can and just adding some more layers. My son's just told me he's at uni. Just sent him a little message because he said he's at uni. I hope it goes well. He's just got one lecture and one seminar today. Ease him in gently. He's actually got a reading day on Thursday, so he's missing. He hasn't got his Thursday class, which is nice for him. Just a bit of an easier week. My other son's already having a little look at his assignments and what he needs to do. So that's all good. Now I feel like his face looks a little bit odd. I'm going to do his wings next, and then I might have to do something with that funny face. It's making me giggle, sorry. Right, yes, let's grab our walnut brown, which I thought I'd lost in the last video, but I hadn't. I just put it away in the wrong place. And get these wings, so same technique. Yeah, I think I don't know whether it's just the way his face is drawn or what really, what's going on there. So you can see this is a fairly lightish brown really, but I'm going to excuse me, put some, now these strokes are a bit longer, you may notice, because his it feels like these feathers would be longer. If you've observed birds, you might notice. So I'm just separating my pencils out so I can remember what I used for what, so that when I do the rest I won't forget. I like to watch my own video. Imagine that. Ugh. So I'm going to the burnt umber to go over the top of this, and it will darken it out. but still the slightly longer strokes. This isn't a sharpener. I'm just basically colouring it in. I don't want to colour it in, I want to do some strokes. That's better. My son just said there's no one at uni yet except for the one tutor. He's not surprised. He said, surprise, surprise, no one's here yet. Now here, where we've got the feathers marked out, I'm tempted to put a little bit of shadowing in. I'm going to do that with this pencil, I think. Just going under there. And under this curve here. Just make use of our illustrator's lines to give a little bit more shape, but the feathers aren't well enough to find here for me, so I'm actually going to use a little bit of black to just put in a few more lines. You may not need this if yours has come out better than mine. Now that little face. What are you going to do with you, little face? We can put a bit of black in above the beak. Let's try that. I've still got this black in my hand. I think we need to just add a bit of shape or something. Maybe we'll do a black line along here. Along the edge or something. I'm going to do a bit more black through. I think it's just a bit too pale for the rest of him. I'm going to fade it towards the middle so it's just more darker on the edge and above the beak. I think that's better. And emphasise under there, it gives a bit of shape to the eye. Might have a bit under here as well, under his beak, like there might be a bit of shadow. Now I'm fiddling, as you do. I'm going to put a bit of dark at the bottom, I think, too. There'd be a bit of shadow down here, wouldn't there? Particularly in there. Can you see where it's drawn like the feathers are in a bit? There's a few lines here and here. There. He looks really fat. I like him now. I think he's cute. So there is our first bird done. I'm not sure how long that's taken because I kept stopping and starting, but I'm not going to do anything else today because I think there's a lot of different steps and there's 3 others to colour. So I'm going to leave you to colour the rest on your own and leave the video there. But thank you very much for watching. Hope that you have a super day and happy colouring.